we've talked about so many great things. So you can even, go back to some of those things that we've already talked about, but somebody who's newer into this wellness world.
Yes.
There is a lot out there and within wellness, and there's some false gurus and there's a lot of BS. And there's also a lot of things that people may think are BS and they maybe just need to drop their ego. But what would you say with your, over 17 years of experience in the wellness world, top 3 tips for somebody who is wanting to really either start or continue on a strong journey towards well-being?
Well, first of all, just do what I just did, because then I can give you a real answer. The best way to do this is take an honest pause and just be real with yourself, without judgment, without shame of where you are. Just do that first. There's nothing else you have to do besides that, because that's, and I can even feel it right now, that's what closes the space between the head and the heart, is just an acknowledgement of the truth. And then you can actually just operate from where you are. But if you don't do that, then you're going to search for lots of information and evidence of how you might intellectually move forward or intellectually heal. But until you close that space between your head and your heart, and I gave you the tool on this podcast, and that's honestly a beautiful start. It's a beautiful start. From there, you can do more advanced journaling and you can work with people and stuff like that. Trauma release therapists, emotional intelligence professionals. But until you at least know where you are, you can't go anywhere. It's like trying to do Google Maps with no home destination. It doesn't know how to get you anywhere. So that's the number one thing. And then the number 2 thing is be extremely mindful, have a mindfulness practice of who is in your space. And I don't just mean people, I mean like especially this thing, right? It is the number one. It is the number one attack on human consciousness right now. Of course, it allows us to connect. It allows people to connect with us. But if we're not careful, it can be like the kids in Pinocchio being led to the island. Like that's essentially what this phone is. We're all swiping at the grocery store. We can't go 3 fucking minutes without being on our phone. It's killing relationships. It's killing marriages. It's killing health. It's killing our eyes. And I'm guilty of it sometimes as well. But I'm talking about it. I'm mindful about it. I'm not shaming anyone. I'm not shaming myself. I'm upset because remember, frustration and anger is a lot more powerful than despair. I could either go, yeah, forget about it. I'm just going to be on my phone all the time. Yeah, they got us. Forget about it. That's the lowest level of vibration. And you can measure this. Robin Openshaw does some good work on her book Vibe about this. And also science can resonate the hurts of anything. You can do muscle testing, which there's still some interesting science on muscle testing. I don't know if I'm 100% on muscle testing or not. I still have like some scientific method to go there, but that's the number 2 is be super mindful of who is in your space. Like obviously you two have a shared love for communication and you want to put out great messages in the world. And that's why it feels so fun to talk with you. But there's a lot of people in our lives that don't give a shit. They want to have their beer. They want to have their fried chicken wings. They want to go watch sports on a TV in an empty stadium. They want to wear a mask and get angry at you when you don't wear a mask. And they want to force their beliefs onto you and not give you the choice of freedom. And that's a virus, right? People can be a virus just like viruses can be a virus. And that's really what we're dealing with. So that's number 2, be super mindful of who's in your space and really judge who's in your space off of what direction you're going in. Like if you're a functional medicine practitioner or you're a wellness coach or you're a therapist and you're hanging out with people that actually not even don't like what you do, but maybe they don't believe in what you do, it's a clear sign you don't get to hang out with them anymore. You don't get to share your dreams with them anymore because that will kill your chi and your life force faster than anything else you could imagine. And so that's number 2. Number 3 is find something that you absolutely love in your life, whether it's coaching or podcasting or breath work or walking in the sun, just find something, fishing, hiking. I mean, there's literally like thousands of things you could love, and give yourself the permission to try as many different things as you can before you find something that kind of like tugs on your soul and your heart, and just do that. Just do that as much as you possibly can, because I forgot who said this. I think it was like ancient Chinese wisdom. I may butcher it a little bit. If you want to defeat evil, the best thing you can do is focus on the good. You can't fight evil by like being angry at evil. That's what feeds evil. That's what feeds negativity is anger and frustration. And there's a time and a place for those strategically. But if you really want to be well, you have to be aware of what's causing you pain, and you have to have the courage to be curious and the courage to do the things that are going to fill you up. So those are the three things I think you should start with.
So what have you found to be the most helpful tools, especially for a beginner, to work on self-love?
Yes. What we did right here, everyone can do that practice. And I went fairly quick, where we did the breathing. The big thing here is, I'll say, you do the inventory, you feel it, you allow yourself to feel it, like the 10 things you love, the 10 things you hate, circle the one, feel it, then do specific breath work. And we have a lot of different breath work that we have for our clients in the Breathe, Breath and Wellness program, where there's the daily meditative breath, which is like, it's around 3 to 7 minutes, sometimes leading up to 21 minutes, where it's really about grounding you and about clearing you open. A lot of people that struggle with meditation, it's actually a really powerful thing to do breath work first, because when you're breathing, we're turning off the default mode network. And essentially what I could share about the default mode network is we have this frontal cortex, the posterior cortex, and we have the amygdala. There's a few other things in there, but those three beautiful things, I don't want to demonize them. They keep us alive. They keep us safe. Those three things are constantly scanning for threat. I mean, even right now, even during this podcast, all of us have had moments where our default mode network has been switched on. But you know what turns off the default mode network? What turns off the default mode network is heart connection or focused attention. Focused attention turns off the default mode network, because if you look at the PET scans and the science scans of the default mode network, when you're consciously performing a task that's goal-oriented, the racing monkey mind shuts down. So the self-love quotient on this is a practice of daily surrender and of awareness. And that sounds super advanced, but it's not. Actually, it's really simple. But again, it's not easy, because daily practice and awareness, the reason that's challenging is because life is very complex and complicated. And so we might have our whole healing modality planned out for 3 quarters. And we might have everything listed on a paper and how we're going to heal and how we're going to love ourselves. And then your kid throws up on your lap, or your son gets in a car accident, or you lose a job, or life is bringing you. And actually what's even more crazy, and I don't wish this upon anyone, but anytime I've ever had a monstrosity of challenge, it is the universe forcing me to grow or forcing me to retract. Like you had asked before, like maybe I don't want to have my dream. Maybe I don't want to lose weight. And there's no shame in that choice either. There's absolutely no shame in that choice. I'm not here to shame anyone. You make the change to love yourself in a daily practice of surrender and awareness when you're ready. Not because I say so. You do it because you're ready.